Okay, go ahead and press play.
All right, I press play.
I'll be all up in your grill. And then let me get over here. Going live. Going live, Eric.
Sounds good to me. We're live on YouTube. Oh, you want this recorded, don't you?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. It's me, San Martin, and Eric, Knight of the Prescott Times. How are you doing this morning, Eric?
I'm doing well.
And to be in quite honesty, the video looks amazing. Like, it's actually crisp, clean, and I like it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
We're getting there. All right, you ready for the day?
Let's do it.
All right, it is National Rubber Ducky Day.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Da-da, da-da.
Tell me you know that song, Eric.
No, it's like I did the da-da, da-da for you. Now you got to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm so much fun. Come on.
You ain't going to get me to do all that, my friend.
Come on. Oh.
I used to be able to sing it. I promise you guys. Good morning, everybody on Instagram. Good morning, everybody that's out there. It is now, what is it, Tuesday or
Wednesday?
Wednesday, the 13th, 2021. Guys, this is a great morning to go ahead and just captivate what has been going on in our world of. It's just crazy. Sometimes we just have a little bit of an issue with life going on right now around us, but everything within my life is doing all right. So, but that doesn't make sense that that everybody else out there is doing their thing. But guess what, guys? That vaccine is getting closer. I guess you could actually sign up and get it linked up to the one doing a mass vaccine thing out in.
It's all online, San Martin. They're doing it 24 hours a day. And if you were to go online, first of all, you got to be Group 1B, which is 75 and older, or
Yes.
or medical workers, things like that. There's a Group 1B. So you and I couldn't go get it. But they're doing it 24/7 out there at State Farm Stadium. And if you were to go online and register right now, it would be at least 15 days before you can get in there.
Yeah, and this is something that is probably needed for a lot of us, guys. And don't get me wrong, I know that everybody's skeptical about the whole scenario, but this is kind of how we move forward. But you know, there's just so many things. Today we actually printed the ingredients that are inside of Moderna. So you guys can go back there and read that. There was also another thing that the CDC put out that Dr. Bloom ended up, actually, explaining to her patients. So we actually share that as well. It's some good information, but it's obviously an opinionated and is based off of, the CDC and, some of the healthcare population out there chattering within themselves. So it's always good to go ahead and speak with people that are speaking with other doctors that are trying to go ahead and make us all better, guys. And so let me go ahead and just read you what happened with there's currently no way to sign up to get vaccinated for any phases of the vaccine rollout. And then so that's the headline. There is no way to sign up to get vaccinated for any phases of the vaccine rollout.
Is that now or what?
It is Yavapai County. Yavapai County Education Service Agency school nurses have been trained to administrate the vaccine, but they're eligible in this phase. This will ensure they are not competing with others in phase 1B for appointments. Teachers and staff are being scheduled by their school nurses. Yavapai County Health Services has database to alert law enforcement in congregated settings of how and when to get their vaccinations. Any adult age 75 or older is eligible and prioritized in phase 1B. You will be asked a few questions to determine the eligibility. If you are a workplace or agency with staff needing to be vaccinated, please complete this form. So they got a job form up. So Yavapai County Health Department has the contact information for you and your staff. And it goes on to go ahead and say that the pharmacies that are going to be involved, where you can go ahead and get those actual vaccines from the pharmacies that are here locally around our area. Safeway, Albertsons, Fry's, Kroger stores are the beginning of next week. So guys, and that's only for 75 and older for the first phase around. So if you guys are in need or want that, I guess you can go ahead and sign up for your staff. as a whole, and then you could actually sign up for 75 and older for the vaccine. So, and I think this is the Moderna one, guys. So I don't know exactly what they're rolling out for the State Farm Stadium vaccination, but you guys can look it all up, and I'll
I
go ahead
was
and put
told
that.
at State Farm you could choose. You could choose between the Madura or the Pfizer at
Oh, so
State.
like they got a menu or something,
I think
like
so.
it was In and Out Burger.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Well, you either get a taco or a burger. You don't get both.
We we got an In and Out Burger menu going on, guys.
Yep.
Now that is some funny stuff. Sometimes it's just really crazy to actually acknowledge some of the stuff that we're being offered right now, and to go ahead and actually give an option to what vaccinations you want. That's kind of funny. You're like, here, pick one. And once again, guys, if you have allergies, there is a good way to figure out what is actually in this stuff. So please go and speak with your doctors and tell them to help you, figure out which ones to take. I really don't know exactly what's going to be the outcome of all of this, but we will be sure to find out very soon. And healthy people, you're going to have to wait. And obviously, for the reason why you're healthy, so and I don't know. I guess I'm okay with that, but at the same time, it's just like to watch everybody have to go through this, and then what? It's like the weight of the world is on our shoulders right now. We can't move forward without this simple little shot, man. It's insane.
All right, so
So,
I got it. So since you watched the sports thing yesterday, right? The broadcast that you had up. What did they
yep.
say? What's the plan? What's the deal with school winter sports?
Okay, so now that you guys are knowing exactly what's happening um, as far as what's happening for the actual schools, the winter sports were canceled last week. They were canceled. We put out the story yesterday because after the Governor Ducey State of the Address deal, we actually really found out exactly what was happening. Excuse me. So Governor Ducey says everybody needs to go back to school, period. Everybody needs to go back to school. So the board of AIA, the school, all the school officials, principals, academic teachers, or whatever the place that they sit, they all got on a Zoom call, and they all had an opportunity to go ahead and express their concerns and their thoughts, and it all went out and it all went into a vote. So the vote went 4-5, where people were saying, nope, we got to go back to school, and winter sports need to be reinstated. So it was kind of crazy, because when it came to Mr. Carter for Prescott, he was 100% against it. He's like, I have 6 reasons to say that we don't do this. And everybody that was talking prior to him and after him was saying, hey, I have 20 reasons why we need to put this back in. And the best thing that they said, no matter what, these kids are going to go hang out with each other. These kids are going to go and find things to do with each other. They're still going to congregate together. They're still going to go ahead and spread germs. And
They're acting like it's 1999. These kids don't see each other anymore. They chat over their phone. They play games over their phones. They don't even want licenses anymore. They want to go just play with their like it's 1999.
Eric, there is people out there that actually like to leave their house, and that it actually happens. I mean, we actually saw that.
Do they go to the mall? Otherwise, our mall would be packed right now.
Well, we actually saw that the mall is actually putting a lot of stuff up there to bring students. I actually got a message from a concerned citizen or a concerned parent talking about how many kids were getting dropped off at the Prescott Library in Prescott Valley. And these kids they're congregating, they're meeting up, and they're going to places such as the Prescott Valley Library. And what's the reason why they expressed any information to me was because it seems like the librarians that are working there are actually providing things for the children, such as notebooks, papers, stuff for them to go ahead and complete their work. So we've been called to action, and this is something that hasn't been talked about or anything. We're actually talking about in the past, or not in the past, in the messaging, and talking about how we could go ahead and help out, this librarian. or the Prescott Valley Library, because they actually have a huge amount of children coming to hang out because the parents are just dropping them off and leaving them there for basically most of the day just because they don't know where else to take them and they don't have internet at home. So these kids are getting together. So the biggest cry that they were saying is that, no matter what, this is going to happen. These kids are going to come together. They're still going to get sick. They're still going to blah, blah, blah. And the idea was they get them back into sports so they could focus on something different. They also brought up suicide. And I don't know if anybody saw the Cronkite debut yesterday with ASU. They did a huge blast about actual suicide and how much it actually increased in this past year. It was a 56% increase, everybody, and that is very, very hard to fathom. Thinking that in just 1 year, it caused several people wanting to go ahead and commit suicide, and in the middle of of a pandemic, in the middle of a place where everybody's just unknown. And so there was a huge cry, and everybody had their right words to say. President, not President Carter, Jim, Jim Carter, right? Jim Carter. Anyways, when he spoke, he had reason to go ahead and keep the kids out of school, but also there were several reasons why to bring them back. And I felt really like it was crazy. It was crazy to go ahead and watch all the people and their thoughts and their processes of how they want to go ahead and make this happen. So they went all the way down from the small schools to the biggest schools, Eric. They actually had 1A to obviously 2A schools in there, meaning they have a bigger capacity of students in the 2As. But yeah, they came up and they talked about it, Eric, and they not unanimously, but they actually had a decision made. So winter sports will be back, I think, January 18th. So I think that's a win. I don't know about you and how everybody else feels, but I feel like the kids really definitely need to go ahead and get back into school to go ahead and get their minds going. But then again, I don't know, Eric. This is one of those things where are we sure we want to do that? I sent you guys a video the other day of the CEO of PBS and some of the stuff that he was talking about. I'll be like scared to take my kids back to school.
Is that what he was saying?
We got to get them back in school so we can get them out of that stupid phase.
Who said this?
The PBS CEO, man.
PBS. So public broadcasting. Oh wow,
it sounded like this girl was literally interviewing him, and he was just rattling off, man.
I'm gonna guess he won't be the CEO of PBS for much longer.
Oh man, yeah, to talk about what is actually going on here locally in Prescott, Arizona.
Right. So we talked about it a little bit last night. There was a Prescott City Chamber meeting. Everybody knows Billy Orr resigned because of the health situation, and then fortunately she's leaving the area, which is really, really too bad. Sad. She's done a lot for this community. They are going to. There's going to be a release coming. I watched the council meeting last night. There's going to be a release coming that the council will do a special executive session, and they will be filling her seat. It won't go to an election until it's time. And so it's going to miss 2 meetings, and then they're going to replace the seat. And so the city will be putting out a press release and taking applications for people that want to fill that seat. And so the council itself will be reviewing and voting on that. So if you have an interest in serving the community and you think you're qualified for the council, that information is going to be forthcoming. They're not quite sure how many applications are going to come in, but this is certainly an easier process than running a campaign and doing this whole thing. The requirements are you have to be a registered member or voter of the Prescott area for more than 1 year. That's really the only requirement. They weren't sure if they were going to do background checks and things like that. But those are the requirements that they talked about last night. The meeting went really long. It was like 3 hours. But
looks like Martina's going to go and fly.
There you go. So I hear Martine's going to put in his application. But anyway,
he's putting his application in, everybody. You heard it here first. We're doing it. Forget about it. I hate politics, so might as well go into politics.
So anyway, that's big news. That's big news for our community. So if somebody has not been able to be part of the council traditionally for one reason or another, now's your chance to. This is a quick and easy route if you're qualified.
And there's so many cool things that you can do with that little spot, man. And if anybody's out there and wanting to go ahead and make a difference, this is your time to go ahead and shine. And I mean, I'm just kidding about me wanting to run. I can't do that.
Why
I
not?
can't do that.
Can't handle
Because
it.
man, I barely have time to go ahead and focus on life in general, let alone a bunch of politics. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I need to be involved, but I could be over here be involved as a community active member, and where I could kind of be loose cannon.
Well, and she's told us the council, first of all, doesn't pay very well because she's obviously in the council in Chino Valley. But she's also told us that the amount of work and subcommittees and commitment that it is a lot of work. And most people that run for it or have never done anything like that before aren't really prepared for the amount of work that goes into this. In fact, I don't know how anybody holds a job and does it, to be honest with you.
It's a lot of work. I mean, they ask you to come and do all the the open houses, the new business ribbon cuttings. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, in the subcommittees, San Martin, I mean, the sub, I've been on subcommittees, and you could spend hours haggling over the wording of a paragraph. I mean, it is mind numbing, and it's part of the deal.
Well, we wish the best for Billy Orr, and hopefully her health is way better wherever she's going. But check this out, Eric. Let's get into a little bit more news that is actually crazy and is still unfolding. Everybody remember the body parts?
Oh,
Remember
sad.
the body parts?
Which ones?
This one would be the first one where we had Mr.
The guy in Scott.
Mitchell, owned by Mitchell, Mr. Mitchell. Walter Mitchell is the suspect that we are speaking of. And now just let me let you read. I'm going to read it for you. Let me let you read me, read you.
I'll listen to you. How about that?
Okay, there we go. Listen to me while I try to read. Prior media releases follows for reference as the investigation continues in recovery of human remains. Arrest of suspect Walter Mitchell. Detectives are seeking additional information from the public. Now, pay attention. This is where it's going to get crazy.
It was already crazy.
Everybody, check your check your belongings because you might have purchased the body part holder. So detectives are hoping to locate what is commonly known as a chest freezer.
No.
Owned by Mitchell and sold in Chino Valley sometime between mid-November and December 19th. The freezer is a 1970s to early 1980s model, top-loading style, and off-pale yellow in color. It is likely Mitchell advertised a freezer on Craigslist or similar publications with sale taking place at home on Reed Road in Chino Valley. Detectives would like to speak with the person or persons who bought the freezer, anyone who might have knowledge of this sale. So everybody, go to your sale, whatever you have. Go type in freezer. You know what? Let's do it right now.
Yeah, San Martin.
We're gonna crack this case right now, guys.
So here's the thing. I bet you it's full of either elk or deer right now, because
yeah, they're elk meat.
exactly. What are they going to do with the elk meat? Yeah. So because during that time period, trying to find a
it's gonna be a hard one. So now we're gonna go ahead and look. Oh yeah, there's a lot, man. Okay, we're gonna look for the sold ones. You took it down. Okay, guys. Yeah, there's a lot, man. There's a lot of them. So, guys, if you are in Chino Valley and you actually have the opportunity to actually purchase a top-loaded freezer, it most likely will be a part of an investigation. So, I don't know who wants to come forward with this, but hopefully you guys can go ahead and make a what do you call it? I don't even know what to say, man. But yeah, guys, you guys are.
So Sam, was this guy living in Chino Valley for a while?
Yeah, they said that he was in Chino Valley for a second, so he did make a stop there. But they found him in Scottsdale, so I'm kind of confused about how this actually is working. So I really don't know exactly. Let's see, date listed. You can go down to date listed and everything. Actually, you know what? I wonder if we can catch the case as we are talking. I mean, I'm pretty sure they all went there and found it, but Eric, that'd be pretty awesome. I would have to like get this on the screen so you could actually watch this as I unfold this mystery.
I don't. I bet you it's gonna get weirder. It's
It
already.
is. It's definitely going to be weird. I mean, it already is weird. As soon as you find the freaking body parts, guys, it's just like, boom, there it is. So, guys, if you have any information and you bought a thing, would you please get in contact with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Department? Is this the same? And in there, he said, what kind of business will be a good business if you were able to go ahead and actually um, be a serial killer. So the speculation might be a little bit more weirder because I'm thinking this is that if this actually happened, I'm just going to say it out right now because I like to tell stories and I like to kind of fathom stories. It's kind of crazy, but I do. Says he doesn't like me for that, but sometimes I just do it. But this is my thoughts. My thought is this: those body parts were actual victims of his heinous crimes because they were unaccounted for. So follow me on this one, guys. They were unaccounted for. So instead of him actually being able to hide it, he had to dispose of it because they were going to probably ask questions like,
But
what are these cadavers?
Martine, why didn't he at least bury them?
Probably because he thought that the animals would come and just pick up the pieces as if they were freaking treats.
Oh,
Uh, and I don't know if you remember a long time ago, there was a guy that was a taxidermist, and instead of him, taking the animal to go and the animal that he had to kill or whatever, he decided to go ahead and take the animal and pit it out into the forest. So the critters and everybody could have food, but that's not legal. So he ended up getting in trouble for that, and I think he actually got jail time for that. So I mean, this is something that people think. I don't know, maybe he's just not smart enough. I mean, he obviously read a book wrote a book about it. I mean, you think that he actually wrote his own freaking story, right?
is there any? I mean, is there any update? I'm guessing he's still in jail, but is there any update on the charges or anything like that?
Let's go ahead and get it down here. They're asking for they're just asking for the freezer if anybody's bought it. The crazy part is that Mitchell remains in custody. And they actually did put a bond on him for $250,000. Um, yeah, so the only thing that they have is just the whole you can't obviously leave body parts out there. Booked on 28 accounts. So it's unlawful for a person to knowingly move a dead human body or parts of human body with intent to abandon or conceal the dead human body or parts. Well, he didn't really conceal it, obviously.
Not well enough.
Obviously. Oh my gosh, guys, this is insane. But you know what? This is 2021. Why not? This is just throw everything in the air. I think that the next thing that's happening in about 100 days is that they're releasing all the information on UFOs, guys. I thought they already did this. I already thought they did this.
Here's the weird thing, San Martin. You know that big spending bill it was either this defense bill or that spending bill that just got passed a couple of weeks ago? Snuck in that bill, it says that the DOD, so Department of Defense, has 120 days to disclose everything and declassify everything they know about UFOs. And so they're starting to turn out stuff, and there's some crazy stories there.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the pandemic, I mean, I don't know if everybody saw that the new Space Force came out, but right before that, actually right after that big boom that happened here in Prescott, there was a significant amount of chatter about the releasing of documents from the U.S. government. So this is kind of like, okay, what else are they releasing that everybody doesn't really like care to notice? There's a lot of things going on in life, but nobody cares about UFOs right now. That's too much info, man. Too TMI.
No, probably poor timing. Somebody said that if there are aliens, we'd probably give them money.
They're just coming for our stimulus checks.
What?
Freaking aliens.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, it's at that time. I have so much to share with you guys. Yesterday, I ended up meeting with a lot of people, and I'm actually going to be producing a lot of more content that has to do with food. Like, who doesn't love food. And so with that being said, I'm going to keep that a secret. I'll tell Eric because Eric's cool. Everybody else is going to have to wait, unfortunately. And I'm not doing that on purpose. It's just because I don't have the content ready.
Because we need you to tune in tomorrow.
And what?
We need them to tune in tomorrow and watch
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah. Tune in tomorrow. I have secrets to tell you guys.
Yeah.
The fear of missing out. You guys do not want to miss this, okay? All you guys that are not watching, just kidding. I know a lot of people start watching, but at the end, you guys always hear the good parts. So if you guys want to know more about what's going on in our world in Yavapai County, please go to theprescottimes.com. Follow us on YouTube, get the alerts going, notifications going, so you guys go ahead and see us first. We will be going live periodically throughout the days because we like to go ahead and experience some of our people in our local community. So, guys, thank you so much for helping out and watching us. And Eric, thank you once again for enjoying this awesome chatter and the beautiful production that you have produced.